Here tonight to present this year's Lifetime Achievement Award is Pete Hines, Vice President of PR and Marketing for Bethesda Softworks.
Thank you. Good evening. It's my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce the recipient for tonight's Lifetime Achievement Award. And the truth is that Todd Howard really needs no introduction, certainly not to the people in this room, but I will do my level best to do him justice. I will not spend time tonight explaining Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout Shelter. If you're in this room and you don't know what those are, I'm slightly disappointed in you, but certainly all of you have an appreciation for the amount of work and creativity that goes into leading such ambitious projects. Every one of Todd's studio's last 5 games have all won Game of the Year recognition. And I think that's extraordinary and something that I'm not sure we've ever seen in the history of our industry. But I promise I'm not up here to go on about awards or sales figures for those games, which I appreciate is pretty weird for a marketing guy. Instead, I'd like to provide some insights on a man who has been my colleague and close friend for almost 17 years. And it's not that being the game director of those games and being the creative vision is not worthy of mention and recognition, because they are, and he certainly is, but rather they tends to miss the depth and breadth of Todd's influence and what he's accomplished in his years at Bethesda. You see, one of the things that makes Todd so unique and a great developer and creative mind is that he's very much invested not just in the larger picture, but all the little pieces that make up that picture. He works on every level of every game that he works on and can quickly switch gears from discussing programming challenges or detail of aesthetic he's looking for in a building or a character, how he wants the combat to work, or the big picture of what he wants the player to feel while they're playing the game. He dives into the minutia of every part of the game more than anyone I've ever been involved with or worked with. Long ago, he championed the notion that great games are played and not made, and as a result, he pushed his teams to spend less time writing documents and putting ideas down on paper, and instead put time and energy into putting those ideas into the game and see whether they work or not. He believed that the only way you could really tell if something was going to work is to get it in the game as quickly as possible and try it, and then iterate on it and change it or rip it out completely and try again if it didn't work. He ripped the combat system out of Skyrim 3 times before he finally landed on one that worked. And it's that principle that has not only been a part of Bethesda Game Studios, but it's carried over to all of Bethesda's other studios and developers and projects that we've worked on over the years. He's never been afraid of bucking convention or of embracing change. He insists that every new project that the team works on start from the beginning with the premise that nothing from a previous game is sacred. Any feature or element is eligible to be changed, removed, or removed completely if it doesn't fit what the team has a vision for. He has a sort of obsession with the best version of anything that he works on, and not when it comes to video games. I have over the years watched him obsess over making the perfect steak, making the perfect margarita from scratch. Nobody in our office will play Todd in Madden or NCAA football, at least when they used to make NCAA football, because he isn't just the best person in our office in a mile, he's one of the best players in the world at those games because of his devotion to being the best at whatever it is he tries. He had zero interest in strategy card games and then started playing Hearthstone and decided, I think I'm going to try and reach legendary status, and he did, just like that. It's indicative of everything that he does and the way that he approaches everything that he makes. Yet, despite his many successes, Todd has always made a concerted effort to avoid the spotlight. In all of my years of working with him, he's never done a press tour, not once. Every time he'll say to me, I'm going to stay here and make the game, you go out and talk about it. In an age of social media, he doesn't have a Twitter account. He prefers to keep the focus on the studio and the team that he works with, despite the fact that there are legions of fans who are waiting to shower him with love and praise, but it's simply not why he does what he does. I also think it's worth mentioning that while he gets lots of recognition for his studio's projects, he doesn't get nearly enough credit for the role that he has had in guiding and managing not only the growth of his studio, but the growth of Bethesda as a publisher in his 20-plus years with the company, which is something that I think he deserves a great deal of credit for as well. His design principles and philosophies continue to carry across and echo across all of the different studios that we work with on Bethesda. And his impact on his studio, our company, and this industry has been tremendous. And he shows no signs of slowing down. Just within the past year, he's expanded his studio to include an office in Montreal, and currently has more projects in the work at various stages than all of the work that he has done to date in his 20-plus years in this industry. He's been an advocate for this industry for a long time that games are not toys. This is not just a hobby. They are the best form of entertainment in the world, and I think he takes a great deal of pride in what he and his team, and in fact, all of us in this room, have accomplished in bringing video games out of the toy aisle and into the mainstream of popular culture. Beyond his work as an award-winning game designer, Todd is a devoted husband and father. He married his high school sweetheart, Kim, and they have 2 wonderful gamers, both boys. His wife is with us tonight, and Kim, let me just say to you that you are the best argument that there is for a Lifetime Achievement Award for spouses of award-winning game developers. As so many of you here know, dealing with countless crunches, late nights, and weekends, but since there is not one, let me offer my own personal congrats to you tonight on your personal Lifetime Achievement Award. Todd, on a personal note, it has been a genuine pleasure to be your friend and colleague and be a small part of your journey over the years. I appreciate everything that you've taught me along the way, as well as the thousands of hours of fun that you've given me and all of us here. Congrats on your many successes, and we can't wait to see where you take us all next. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the 2016 Lifetime Achievement Award, Todd Howard.
Thank you so much, Pete, for those very kind words. Thank you over there. Thank you in the cheap seats. There's a few things you think about when they tell you you're going to get a Lifetime Achievement Award. First, how many achievement points is this one worth? Like, seriously, my gamer score could really use it. And then it could really mean one of 2 things, either great work or please stop, we've had enough. It's weird to think of myself as a lifetime achievement winner. In my mind, I've only recently entered puberty, and the changes to my body still excite me. But really, it's a tremendous honor, and I want to thank all of you here tonight at the Game Developers Conference. I've gotten to know many of you, and it's been a great blessing to be part of this community and to receive so many accolades from myself in the studio at these awards over the years, especially when I see so much, every time, so much amazing work on display. In particular tonight, I think all of you are proving once again that there are games for everyone and that this remains the world's best form of entertainment. It really is. I want to, hats off to everybody tonight. I came to my first Game Developers Conference in 1994, 22 years ago, the same year I started at Bethesda. I don't know, there were a few hundred people, maybe it was 500 people, 600 people, I don't know. There was maybe 6 meeting rooms, and I was lucky enough to sit in on a small roundtable discussions with heroes of mine like Sid Meier, Will Wright, Richard Garriott, and to now be entered in the same group with these greats whose work inspired me It's incredibly humbling, and it's very hard to process. But this award isn't just for me, it's for everyone at Bethesda. It really is. It's for our designers, led by Emil Pagliarulo, who fill our worlds with ideas. It's for our artists, like Istvan Pele, who give those worlds shape. It's for our producers, led by Ashley Chang, who keep the trains running on time, even though they're unbelievably on fire. It's for our amazing programmers, led by Guy Carver, who somehow make it all work. I mean, with all the shit in our games, I seriously am still shocked they even run. I don't know how that happens. It's for the marketing and PR teams, led by my great friend Pete Hines, who get the word out better than anybody. It's for our sales, our HR, our IT groups, our QA department. I actually want to salute the QA departments across our industry. And trust me when I say, at Bethesda, excuse me, we do not make it easy on our QA department. Like, we make games where anything and everything can happen. It's for our administration, led by our CEO, Robert Altman. He's kept us growing the right way while maintaining our independence, which has allowed us to do things that other companies never could. It's also for Kenny McDonald, who runs our cafeteria. The food during crunch time helps dramatically, especially the sugar rush we get on pancake night. The effect in our games is important. And for everyone at Bethesda, I want to thank everyone who supported us, most importantly, our fans. You have shown us time and time again how special games are to you, and that the time you spend in them is important, that games can make you feel things that nothing else can. They can teach you about yourself and the world around you. The best reminder of that is when our studio is visited by kids from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We're outside of Washington, D.C., and the Washington, D.C. chapter of the Make-A-Wish Foundation hosts a lot of visits with the President of the United States. And over the last year, more and more have chosen to come see us. They could wish for anything, and they come to see how we make these games, but mostly over the last year, they wanted to come and play Fallout 4, but not knowing if the release date would come for them. And they get to play the game early, and their joy and appreciation for what we do, it is so real in that moment. And I know your games and other people's games do the same. If I had one wish for all of you here, it's that you understand that and that someday you get to experience it. And we make a whole day of it. They bring their families, their parents, sometimes siblings, and consistently, one of the greatest things is that at the end of the day, the parents have changed. They're amazed by what goes into creating the games. I had no idea, they say. And the whole family, they leave at the end of the day with a new appreciation for what games are and what it means to love them. And I need to thank my own parents, who always encouraged me, buying me an Apple IIc and then later on a PC so I could do better in school. I did all right. Most importantly, one last person I want to thank, my amazing wife, Kim. We have we have been together for 27 years. We did start dating in high school. And one Christmas early on, she bought me a game, Wayne Gretzky Hockey 3. Because nothing says young love like computer-simulated hockey. I looked at the name on the box, and it said Bethesda Softworks. And I decided I would stop by their office on my way back to college to let them know I wanted to work there one day. I have been driving to that exact same office for 22 years now. And it wouldn't have started without Kim, and there's no way I could have done it all this time without her. And I think that's true for most of you here tonight, that we all have families and partners who support us and take care of all the things in our lives while we're off creating. We all know the long hours, that obsession to create something special. And the time away from our families and friends, it is never easy for anybody here. One of those times, when I was leaving Kim and the boys before they went on another vacation without me, she hugged me and said, "This game better be really good." Well, a lot of people thought they were pretty good, and this award says maybe I was too. So thank you all for making me see that, and thank you for this incredible honor. Thank you.